Hi everyone, I'm Allie.
Hi, I'm Anna.
And we are going to be teaching you live some things to do with your contents of your Best Bead Box subscription. So Anna designed these lovely earrings that I'm modeling. I feel like I'm not going to take them off. I think I have to take them off.
My ears last week.
Luckily, we have clean ears, and we are going to go in and show you how to go in and actually create them. So the nice thing is, this is super friendly and beginner style.
It is very beginner.
Very, very beginner. You can do this even if you didn't get the Best Bead Box. We also have available for you these little packets that we have up on the website. So below the video here, and if you haven't yet, click in Anna's corner, that little subscribe button right there. That little subscribe button right there. I think it's right there in your cat. I look like I'm petting a cat here. Click right there so you make sure not to miss anything that we do as far as going live like this. Sometimes we do it very last minute.
Sometimes we do, but you know, I feel like we always make it work though.
Make it work and make it worth it. And also if you didn't get the box, or you think, wow, I really need another pair of these, or I want to make more, we do have these little packets available online.
Yeah, they're not full kits, so they don't have a pattern and they don't have the needle and thread with them. But you're watching the video.
So you know how to do it.
So you don't need the written pattern because you're watching the video now, and we'll have it for you to rewatch and pause and rewatch and rewind.
Pause and rewind and rewatch and rewatch and repause. Yeah. So for this, what we will be doing then is going in and showing you how to create the earrings from start to finish. If you do want to gather up some supplies to get started, I'm going to take one of the earrings off so that way you can show what the materials will actually be. I'm going to keep one on. I'll keep the one on screen on, and then the one that's further off camera will be off. So it'll just be looking like I'm a little crazy and I'm missing one. So let's bring it in here.
I used to know somebody who only wore one earring.
One earring. Didn't matter then if you make one and you're losing one. So for the project, what beads are we using? Anna, what is our supply list?
So we're going to use an 8mm round bead. We have the white lava, which is really nice and light, so it's great for an earring. But you know, any 8mm round that you want to use. So we have our lava beads here, and yeah, you got these supplies in the Best Bead Box. So if you've got the Best Bead Box, you already have them, unless you've already used them.
Then you can get more.
Then you can get more, yeah. These are the Monstera leaf earrings. So these guys are post earrings. So if you turn them around, you see there's a post earring on the back. And just remove this. This is just for safety.
Safety reasons.
So remove that. Your post earring is there, and then you just whatever box you want. And then you're also going to need some seed beads. I decided to use this bronze color because I thought the bronze and the gold was really fun together. Because in summer, right, like everyone wants that bronzer.
I do. I want to look nice and bronzy and beautiful. And I'm excited to take the bronze pair when you're done with them.
Yeah.
So when Dan is done working with the bronze pair, she can have the gold ones back. I'll just use the bronze pair as I'm working with them.
Yeah, so I really like the mixture of the bronze and the gold. You know, it's very summery and sexy. And can we say sexy?
We can say sexy.
We can say sexy.
Yeah.
Okay. And then last thing you need, just a little piece of hardware, is some two jump rings. I think these are 6mm, 5 or 6mm, so that'll work for you. And open jump rings, not closed.
So if you don't have, so the nice thing about the lava stone when you're looking at it or when you're working with it, you can do it with black lava stone, but as Anna said, it's nice and lightweight, so it feels very summery. And then those of you that are into essential oils, if you want to, you can always go in and actually put oils on the lava stone. So you can have that lava stone, you can put the oils on, and you have that available too. So.
Yeah, because all these little craters, it will just absorb that.
Yeah, the earring is on the top fashion this year. It is. One earring is top fashion this year. Interesting, yeah. So I'm fashionable because I just have the one on, so we're good.
The lady I knew who wore one earring, I didn't think she knew. I think she
was just didn't know what was going on a little bit. But all right, so looking at these materials and these beads here, I'm going to shift you over a little bit, Anna.
Yeah,
since Anna's the beater today and I'm just the sidekick. I'm just a Robin. You get to be Batman, and I'm just a Robin for it. Oh, why Robin? For the earrings, somebody wanted to know what size seed bead. So we're using 11/0 seed beads. If you don't have 11/0, you could use 8/0. It's just going to affect the size that you're working with. And then if you don't have the 8mm and you want to do a 6, you can do that as well. A little bit further in the project, I'm going to show you one of the examples of a bracelet that's done in a very similar manner, but I don't want to confuse anyone yet. Okay. So I'm not going to show that
one at a time.
We're going to do one at a time.
Okay. So I went ahead and put my stop bead on. Sometimes I work with a stop bead, sometimes I don't, but we'll do that today for the sake of the tutorial. Because, if we have to write a pattern, it'll start with put on your stop bead.
I actually just did a Facebook Live, and I used this bright orange one, so that way I could say, this is the stop bead. So that way you know to take off the stop bead.
So I have my little stop bead on there. And then what I'm going to do here is pick up a seed bead and a lava bead. Let that go down all the way down to my stop bead. And then I'm going to pick up another...
I'm going to move you over, Anna, so that way you got to go way up there.
There you go. Okay. So then I'm going to pick up another seed bead and a lava bead. And I want a total of 5 lava beads to make my earring. So I'm just going to keep picking up seed bead, lava bead, seed bead, lava bead until I've got a string of 5 lava beads.
Now, theoretically, you could do this with any amount, correct? You might just need to change the seed bead.
Yeah, you're just going to change your seed bead count when you get to putting that center star in there.
So in this center star here, when you're looking at it, you have the 5 beads. You can do more, you can do 6, that's up to you. And while you're doing that, and before you move on there and you have your extra little, I'm going to give a little shout out to those of you joining in on our YouTube. We've got a lot of people joining in today. And hello to Terry and to Patricia, to Debbie, to Deborah, to Richard, the Kinta, to Linda and Kathy and Dawn and Chris and Georgina, and to Reba and Kay and Denise and Skeeter and Heather and Sherry and Tracy. Hello from everyone. We got people from all over, so hello to all of you.
That are just watching me play with
the beads
on a string.
Honestly, there's something though really, really calming when you look at the beads. If you didn't know what these were, there's something really, really calming about the lava stone. It looks like I walked around the beach, rather. It looks almost like coral. You walk around the beach and pick up these things.
It looks a lot like coral.
And these are a beautiful little set. And this also...
And if you work with it, it's, I would say a little like...
powdery?
It gives off a little powder. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
That's because of that tumbled effect that they do.
Yeah, it's just a rough stone. It's just rough, so...
It's not a polished stone.
Yeah, so don't worry about that.
And then also when you are working with it too, just for a example, also when you participate and you chat, this is how we get the ideas for what you guys want to see. During the unboxing, somebody asked, can you do a video on these earrings? I wish I remembered who it was. You may even be
Apparently
watching.
A lot of people asked because
I'm
sitting here doing it.
Yeah, so when you participate and you ask questions and you ask us, we try to do this. So make sure that as you're checking in there, that you have that on.
Okay. So ready for the next step?
Ready for the next step, Anna. Stop playing with the
well, you were doing shout outs. Okay.
I am.
We're heavily edit this for the tutorial. Okay, so I've added 5 seed beads, 5 lava beads, seed bead, lava bead, etc. So my stop bead here is the same color as my other seed beads, so I'm going to ignore him. I want him to go away. I'm going to bring my beads around into a circle so that I can continue and go through the first seed bead and first lava bead that I picked up.
And that's going to bring that into a round section.
Yep.
If you have a different...
You can see, I wanted to make sure that I avoided picking up that seed bead there, because that can be really tricky. I have definitely accidentally picked up a stop bead, and it's not fun.
And sewn through the stop bead, and then you're like, oh man, I got to figure out how to get this off, and it's not part of my design.
So I'm going to just go through a couple more here just because I like to make sure that it's nice and tight.
So this is a good little helpful hint that Anna's doing. If you are starting out and you're designing or creating a bezel or creating a round, even if you're doing a peyote stitch where you're creating that, it's a good idea to get away from that stop bead or knot if you tied a knot and go a couple further, because what that does is it makes that first set or that first round a little bit more stable.
Yeah.
So when you're going in then and adding any seed beads to the top of it, you don't also have to hold the seed beads in. So you went a whole way around.
I went a whole way around because that's kind of my habit. I just like making sure that it's nice and tight, and I don't mind having a few pieces of thread running through there, like stiffening it up and making it tight. And then I still went farther, so I went past my stop bead, because you also don't want to start working with this little piece of tail like in your way. That's like one of my biggest pet peeves
is getting that caught in.
Yeah,
thread tails and tags. So.
Oh, one of my biggest pet peeves. Okay. So I have to look at this and remind myself what I did. So now we're going to start working on the seed beads that are going to cross and make that center section. So I'm going to pick up 9 if I remember correctly, because I should have 4 and 4.
And then the one
and then the one in the center. Yeah, so that'll be my 9 beads that I'm picking up.
And if you want to, also, you did.
Okay.
And if you're also, so you're going to sew through the round bead.
Yeah,
come out the round bead.
So I'm going to come out of the round bead. I don't want to be coming out of one of my seed beads. I'm just going to work with my round beads right now as I'm picking up the center seed beads. So I'm going to pick up 9 of these.
And as you're picking up those 9 seed beads, something to keep in mind too, if you do have the seed beads, you have some 8mm rounds, or even if you're doing this along with us with 6mm, you don't have to use all the same color seed bead.
No.
So you can have your center be a different color.
Yeah.
You can really play around with a gradient going darker to lighter and having fun with that.
Yeah, I think that would be really fun. So then what I'm going to do is coming out of this bead here, I'm going to go back through the bead. So I'm just looping my seed beads around the bead, and I'm going to push it into the center. So you can see how that's going to start forming that little star in the center.
And if you keep it off to the side and you work with the outside, then you almost start to get a little floral effect.
Yeah.
So it's more than one use for if you're doing that. Also, if you want to do another version, you can do a whole nother grouping of 9 here, push that to the outside, and then you'll have beads also around the outer edge.
Yeah, we can even play with that a little bit.
But I actually really like them playing like this, but that's an idea if you're doing a color variety.
We'll see where this hour takes us.
Oh, Patricia said Christmas colors would be nice with the design with the star. It's a good idea. So,
Yeah.
Kathy said that. Totally great idea. Ooh, you could put a little star on the top too.
So now I'm gonna go through. I'm moving on, Allie.
Moving on. I'm still
moving on. Okay, so now I'm gonna go through 4 seed beads.
So back through the first 4 out of the 9.
Yep, back through 4 of these. Give it a nice tight pull so that everything is tightened up. And then I'm gonna have to pick up another 1 for my center and another 4, so I have to pick up 5 beads here. So the only time that I'm picking up 9 is just at the beginning to get started. And then I'm gonna pick up 5. And I'm gonna go through my
Next
8-0 here. Or my 8-0, my 8mm.
When was the last time you did something with 8mm beads? It's been a while.
It's been a while. Well, before
the earrings,
that one. Yeah. So I kind of leapfrogged over to the next bead, coming back towards what I've already got started here, and then I go back through those 4. So that set of 4 there is actually going to have a few pieces of thread going through it, through my center, and through the 4 again.
And for those of you that don't know right angle weave, believe it or not, you're doing right angle weave.
Yeah,
so
it is.
You're thinking of your center bead here, the one that we're going to
knot in my thread.
While you undo that, I'll explain how this actually is the center bead. So your center bead is actually going to be your one side of your right angle weave. The 8-0 seed bead is the other side of the right angle weave, and then the sets of 4 are your sides of your right angle weave.
Right.
So you're creating your box or your raw stitch, but you're connecting as you go along.
Right.
So.
It's just a trapezoid
It's
or
more of a
something,
triangular,
or yeah, you still have 4 sides. You could think of it like that, but it's just very misshapen.
So that's why sometimes as you do it, you're going to be coming out of the 4 versus coming out of the 8.
Right. So now I'm coming out of my 5 seed beads actually that I just added. I'm going to move on to my next 8mm bead and go through that bead and pull my thread all the way through. And again, I'm going to pick up 5 seed beads, and then I'm going to connect them to the 4 set of 4 seed. That's 5? Okay.
That's 5.
That's 5. And then I'm going to connect them to the last 4 in this section.
You can do it.
Okay, there we go.
You can do it, Anna.
I'm trying to keep my head back.
I know, it's like
and
that.
my arms forward.
And we're really, and I'm trying not to lean on top of Anna, and also to not talk over Anna.
And trying to count. Okay. So go through my bead, go up through the next 4 seed beads here, and if you haven't guessed already,
5 more.
pick up 5 more.
I just guessed. I was just guessed. Somebody said,
give this a nice tight tug, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of loose thread in here, and then when you come back, it's just going to get kind of wonky. So don't be afraid to give it a nice tight tug.
I love this idea also that Maria M has. She said it would look really nice done with the Amazonite little beads. You could also, so the Amazonite little beads you got in a different box, but you also got the little Potomac crystal rondelles.
Yes.
Instead of putting 9 beads on, you could do 4 seed beads, then you could do your little crystal rondelle in the middle, and then 4 more. So in the center of your little flower there, you would have actually the crystal. I like that idea too.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I try to use materials that weren't used in
The pattern.
like the pattern, just because I want, to provide a lot of other ideas. But I would do that.
Yeah.
I would totally just use that little crystal.
I would stick that little crystal in there and then have fun with that guy.
So this is driving me crazy, all this extra thread. So I'm going to see if I can give this a little tug.
Yep.
Give everything a little tug. There we go. Okay, that's much better.
So Anna, why did you have the extra little thread, and how did you get rid of it?
I had it because I didn't pull tight enough, and I just kind of traced my way back to like where I thought the excess was coming from, and I just kind of took my hands.
Give a little tug, a little
I
shimmy
gave it a little
pull.
tug. Yeah. So you kind of work the thread back through your project or forward through your project.
Yes.
So that's very important to just give it a little tug. If it's a tiny bit loose, it's fine, but you don't want a lot of extra thread because it's not going to go away.
And with the white thread, with the white lava beads, you really won't see it. But like Anna said, backtrack and pull back basically from the spot where the tension was, and then you'll give a nice little tight pull.
So now I've just gone through this lava bead here, my last one, my 5th one. So now I've already got my 4 seed beads on the side here and on the side here. So I'm going to go up through 4 seed beads.
So Aubrey Hunts wants to know, if the lava beads absorb oil, wouldn't they also absorb ink? Then you could make your own color combos or rainbows. Would I need to seal them? I would definitely seal them. If you try to dye them, definitely seal them. And they do come in other colors. Black is usually what you'll see them in, and then they basically bleach them, and that's how they get the white color too. And there's a different pumice stone of whether or not you're getting white or black and all of that, because these most likely were a little bit of an off color, and then they bleach them to get the white. When you're trying to dye something, some stones will take dye, some won't. The pumice stone will, pearls will.
I would experiment with it.
Correct. Yeah, take a couple, experiment with it. Share your results too in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making, because it would be really fun to see how they do take the color.
Or Best Bead Box Facebook group.
Or the Best Bead Box Facebook group.
Since you did get them in the Best Bead Box.
Do it in both there. Anna's prompt in her group. I'm prompt in mine.
Stealing my post.
Stealing your post. But yeah, go in, try it out, and then I would dip them full dip in permalac.
Oh, permalac,
So you could put this whole bead on right there.
So this actually brings up a sidebar.
Everyone put your projects down.
When you dye fabric, you have something that it's like sets it. Is it vinegar? I don't remember.
Vinegar.
years and years ago, I think they used stale urine.
Gross.
Like, yeah, I know it's gross, but like,
that's what they used to set the color in fabrics.
Yeah.
Traditionally.
Like, yeah, traditionally.
That was back with
So
the
I'm
old
not
world
saying
box. We're
do
on
that
to the
with your
summer box.
beads. I'm
That was
just
back with
saying.
our old world box.
I think a component of dyeing is you can cover it, or you can also look into like how you set that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it'll work with beads like it does with fabric, but
Or
maybe
Easter
somebody
eggs.
out there.
I mean, even Easter eggs, you're usually
That's right, you're using
getting
vinegar.
those white vinegar to get that color
Yeah.
set. So this is a cool science
Yeah.
experiment. So now, Audrey, you have to do this. So you're going to do it, and you're going to become our little guinea pig for it, and we
And
can see
don't
what
tell
happens.
us if you used stale urine or vinegar.
Oh, because I can't see my hair, you're seeing Hudson instead. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's what Denise said, that I look like my son because you can't see my hair, so then I look like Hudson. Oh.
Okay, so the last
On from urine.
Yeah.
And on to the design, Anna.
it could be part of the design. Okay, so doing our last, going around our last 8mm bead here, we went up through 4. We only picked up 1 because we only need that one little guy in there, and then we went down through the next 4. So in your last section, you're only picking up 1 center bead.
Perfect.
Then I'm going to go back through my 8-0, my 8mm.
8mm, I know.
You know, you know what we call round beads with 1 hole in the subscription department?
What do you call them? Beads.
Round unos.
Round unos.
That's
one
how
hole.
we call them round unos.
They're the round unos. Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to go up through my 4 beads. And now what I'm going to do is I'm only going to pick up my center beads.
So you're just picking up those center
Yep.
5 beads at the top of that little right angle unit.
Yeah. And they might be a little looser for you. So like you can see, this one's pretty loose for me.
It's always easier to get things tighter when you're not in front of
Camera.
an index card section with somebody leaning over your shoulder, awkwardly whispering in your ear and trying to distract you.
So we're just going to go around, pick all these little beads up. So you'll have 5 of them, all the center ones. And you can go around probably 2 or 3 times, whatever you can get your needle through, and just make sure that you get a good grip. Give it a nice tight pull just to cinch all of those in together.
I also thought, as you're doing this, just reaching over, let's grab a 3mm pearl. So I'm going to
let's
show
try that.
in the center, you could actually design it that you can actually add another little bead in the center. It's going to be easier to see it on yours.
Yeah.
Ready? Let me drop that in there. Just a little cocoa pearl there.
That's
Adding
cute.
another little floral component, basically,
Yeah.
another little design. Even Cheryl's been on a kick recently that she's just been gluing stones on. So she's been gluing crystals on. And looking at this design here, you could even take a little chaton there.
Oh, that's
And glue
really
it into the
cute.
center of the design here. Just drop it on, glue it on after the fact. Complete your whole project. Do what Anna's going to show you for the bail first, but then glue your little crystal on for a little added bling in the middle too. So,
Yeah, that's really cute.
oh, Patricia said, good thing about urine, it's plentiful and cheap. True, true. Yeah, you could also, Chris said, how about a rose Monty? You could put a rose Monty in. A pearl or a crystal would, I think, be a good. I agree with Marie. She said she likes the idea of the pearl in.
Or your 5 center seed beads, pick up a different color. These could almost look like little hibiscus if you did like different color seed beads, like a gradient, and then you did something in the center, and yeah, so very tropical.
So at this point here, before you do the bail, I'm going to bring over our other example. This one is called the Check Flower Bracelet. This is a really old 2013 design. Shout out to Holly for the design idea. And it is a series of rondelles. So these are check rondelles in 5x7. You can see instead of 5, she used 6. So the color's a little bit hard to see there, but she used 6 beads. You're doing the exact same thing, making your rounded circle with 6, and then coming to the top, instead of doing the right angle weave, what she did was circle around the beads. So instead of joining and sharing those 4 beads, she added a whole nother set of 4. So she came down.
Did way too much work.
She did a lot more work. A lot more work to the design. Kind of makes it look a little bit more starfishy. Honestly, in this version, I would have switched over to 15 O's rather than 11 O's because they would have fit a little bit better. And then all she did was coming out of the bead, she did a right angle weave. So she just did a circle and then on to the next one.
Yeah.
So this design too, in that center, after you're done here, go down through the side, sew through an 11 and 8-0, and use this 8-0 as your connector and keep going on to create a bracelet.
Yeah.
So there's a number of different ways.
Yeah.
And this one here too creates that after you go in and you add that second layer, you're just adding and circling around, sewing through the next, adding, circling around. You're sewing through that center as well.
Yeah.
And what she did was just add one more seed bead along as she was picking up those corners.
Yeah. So that's actually a really nice design if you did want to do something more starfishy.
Yeah.
Do this in gold, and then because it's a little thicker because you've got the 2 rows of seed beads, it does give you more of that starfish look.
Yeah, very cool. And I like the idea of switching over. If you're using the 8mm pumice stone or lava stone for it, go in and use 15s as your 2 rows if you want to do that double row. I think with the 11s, it starts to get a little bit crowded.
Yeah, because you're kind of you cover a lot of the bead.
Correct.
Underneath. Yeah. So what you can see here is
they look like suction cups. They do look a little bit like suction cups.
Like
Willow tree, they look a little bit like suction cups and tentacles. I get that. A starfish playing golf. Starfish playing golf.
I don't get
it,
that one.
Thank you for PotomacBeads.
Sure,
whoever is commenting and giving the old. Be kind to us in the check flower video. It's from 2013, which is crazy to think. It's like 7.5 years old. Technology was not as great. But Holly did a great job on the video, and I actually think it's really easy to understand. So check that out.
And if you don't, you can watch this video.
Yeah, somebody wants to see what the back side looks like. So here's the back side.
I didn't really finish the back side of this. But what I would do is the same thing. Or, I mean, you don't have to finish it, but if you want to finish it, I would just do the same thing on that side.
If you're not going to use these earrings, that's when I would go in and do the back side. So that way, if they are flipping around, with the post, the nice thing is they really do stay to the front. Yeah. But if you don't have the post on it and you're just putting on a regular ear wire, like any earrings, you have them that they're going to kind of float around as they're working with it. So go ahead and do the back design. What you can do for that back, like Anna and I were saying, as you're going around and doing the front right angle weave, do the exact same thing on the back. So. I
was wondering if we could even...
Oh yeah, you can drop something else in.
Something a little funky in the back. And
that's cute. Just a little round duo in there.
Just
5mm
hanging around,
hanging one in there. If you missed the Facebook Live, I also did earrings and kind of doing another little simple things, just a little
cute.
Stars. Yeah, so we're on a star kick today.
That's real cute. Okay. So for the bail, you're just going to take your thread around the project, come out of the end of one of these sets of 4. So you're just coming out the end of your project. And what I did then was I just went down to one of my 11 O's from when I originally picked up my circle of lava beads.
So you're going directly into either the right or the left of that 11-0 to kind of pull it back to center.
Yeah, I'm just going down to that seed bead, just popping through it. And then I think I picked up 5. So I picked
and 5 is the
five it is. And so then I'm going to pick up 5 seed beads here just to make a loop. And if you're going to use something other than a ring, or if you have a larger or smaller ring, you can pick up more or less seed beads. But 5 works really well for the little rings that I have close by here. And then you're just going to go back through that seed bead. You're just making a loop with the 5 that you picked up.
So if you were coming out the top of the seed bead, you sew into the bottom.
Right. Yeah.
Perfect.
So just make that little loop. I'll go through it again and just reinforce it. And I like to pick up an odd number because then you tend to have, an odd number because then you have like a seed bead at the top.
Yeah.
And then
something to catch on to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same idea with anytime you're doing a little catch point on an earring. It's nice to have an actual top. So the odd number, if you're connecting right into the earring, gives you an extra top, or if you add a wire guard, if you don't have the loop there, it gives you a center section, so when you have the earring, you're wearing it, it actually hangs correctly on the design.
Right. So I reinforced that. I'm going to go back through this bead here because my stop bead is right here. So this is going to be an easy place for me to tie this off. I'm just going to pull that seed bead, that stop bead off. And all I'm going to do is just a little overhand knot.
So you're literally just tying the two thread ends together. Yeah. And because it's white on white, you're not going to be able to see it really well, but that's also to the benefit because you're not going to be able to see the knot itself.
No, you can see the knots in here because I had green thread when I did that.
Well, don't turn my thread burner upside down. You have to... It's been worse for wear and I travel with it. So, here, you got to go like that. Hold it like that. You have to hold this down. See how that comes out there?
This is just not a good...
Product promotion.
Product promotion.
I'll hold your thread ends for you since you have to hold the end of it. So there's the thread burner.
I'm performing surgery. Okay.
You do. Thread burner's down. Boop. Okay. Needle down. Scalpel. Done.
Okay, so there's one little guy. And then I'm just going to grab a ring.
Jump ring. What can I hand you? And a needle nose plier? Oh, you already have one.
I do.
Do you want another one? Here's a bent needle nose.
I'll just not use my fingernails, yeah.
The Blue Star earrings that I just showed, I guess I'll record a quick YouTube video on that. But I just did them on Facebook Live impromptu. So you can check out our Facebook page and we have it on that too. So can't wait to make them. It's been a crazy August. It has been a crazy August. I was just saying, where has summer gone? I feel like the nice thing with the box is that you can bring it back out in December and realize, oh, I can think about the sea and think about going to the ocean back when I have my pool party.
My 5 seed beads didn't betray me.
Your 5 seed beads didn't betray you. You're good.
I'm just having an awkward time here.
Oh, she's like a teenager. I was talking about that earlier when I did mine without the pliers.
Okay. Yeah.
And while it's open, then you're going to grab your ear wire.
Yep.
Make sure you're on the front.
Yeah, make sure you're on the front. Grab it at the very end there.
Now, is there an appointed loop for these, or there's just a number of different loops? Very cool. So another idea, as Anna's doing that, looking at the loops that I've thought of, is you can go in and actually decorate these loops almost like in a bead embroidery fashion.
Definitely.
So I have a little scrap of thread here. I'll show you where my mind is going. Let me put on my red stop bead here. Winter earrings, summer earrings, any season. True. They do because of that white. They also look like they could make you happy in the summer. So one thing that you could do is, after the fact, come up through the design. I have a stop bead on the end of my thread. And you can take, if you use those turquoise color, add a bead on, so back through that same hole. And then you have a little bit of that. I like the opening, but if you have a little bit more color variance, go to the next hole without attaching to your thread to your ear wire there. Add a bead, so back through that hole. So the bead's just kind of hanging out there one time through. And you can have those little beads that are attached to it and going up through. And if you have a different color, like I would use white.
Yeah, probably white, or even gold if you just wanted to add a little texture to it.
Yeah, good idea. And then you could just have that texture. You're going through, you're having it there. And then after the fact, just sew the bead back down, take your thread end off, and you have that there. If you're crazy about the back of the thread, just glue a tiny bit of ultra suede or stiff stuff. But no one's going to see it. I wouldn't worry about it.
Sometimes I've seen it where people have tried to cover it with, and it looks worse.
It looks worse. Just let that tiny bit of thread go.
I don't mind seeing the thread, yeah.
Yeah, so here, I'll just decorate these last. And then over here, I can do 2 beads if I wanted to on the opening. We'll see what it looks like. Ready? Last one. I'm so close.
I like this idea, though.
Yeah, you can just sew an additional bead. When I saw these ear wires, that's the first thing that I saw. Actually, Teresa used these ear wires in her Juicy Tropics video, and I thought the same thing when I saw it. Although now with them in there, it's starting to look a little bit pineapple-ish. I think it's because of the color. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, it kind of looks like a pineapple. And then if I come down here, you have those open seeds. You could even do a brick stitch on the end. You can't see that thread again. It's on the exterior. Add 2 beads in this time, so back through. And those should lay right beside one another. And there's another idea, is to kind of go in and actually decorate it. think it looks better with it open, but that's also because the color.
I don't mind this. Like, I think that's cute. I think it's just the color.
Yeah.
I'd pick a different color, but I like the texture.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun thing to it. So the leaves, yeah, I think they are leaves. Or what kind of leaves?
Monstera.
Monstera, yeah. So Patricia said Monstera leaves. Is that just a green plant? Like, does it flower? Okay,
It's
Anna,
a purple.
thanks.
It's a purple
Thanks,
leaf.
Anna.
Yeah, it's a green plant.
We do have
I don't
more
know,
of the earrings
actually.
for
they
sale as
might
well.
they might have a tropical flower, but I don't know.
Yeah, we have the earring settings for sale. We have this also if you do want to get the whole idea of the pack here. We have the whole thing of a pack. You're going to get extra beads in this, so you'll end up with extra lava stone beads. Anna did not use the whole pack, and we have approximately how many beads per pack?
You'll
15,
get somewhere
20?
15 to 20. Yeah, it's a gram weight, but you have more than enough to do
The earrings, to do your
earrings,
set,
yeah.
and to work with
Because you can see this is what came in my pack. So you can actually make
a bracelet to go
a
along with it.
bracelet. Yeah,
And
because you've
keep that
got
as
quite
well.
a few beads.
All right, I'm going to put back on the gold ones.
So, yeah, I mean, definitely check this out. It's just a little packet of everything that I used here. It's exactly the materials that I used here in the quantities. And it's just a great little way to grab the materials without having to buy whole
individual.
packages of things. Yeah, because if you buy whole packages of everything, including the seed beads,
then you've got more
then
than
you've
you
got
need.
more than you need. You're spending more, and
Yeah, so we have that request a lot that, can I just get the materials for it? So we're going to try it out. We figure we have them available for you, so if you do want to get them, you can do a little link to them. You can see what they look like on the ear. So I have them on here. I'm ready to go to my pool party from my August box. And you really can have fun creating, making, looking at that bracelet that we did, and then seeing how the different looks go when it comes to Anna's taking the seeds off. Anna's trying to get her earring on too, so they can look fun and matching. And they look heavier than they actually are. I'd be fine wearing these.
yeah, they're very light.
I'd be fine wearing these for the entire day. So you have some earrings when you look at them, and I think, man, they must like fall over every time they wear their earrings.
Oh, yeah.
I love the Italian ladies in our Facebook group. They love big earrings, but I also think their earlobes are going to be down to their shoulders soon.
Oh, I
You
have
need the other one. Yeah,
earring
do
in
that one.
already.
In. Do you only have one though? It is in for the season, Anna.
I only have one, and I have it back.
So there's Anna's. See, hers even go. I have just a little sundress on here. Anna has her leopard print. She's still on the last box. I'm going into summer here. But you can see how really cute they look, whether or not you put them actually on the leaf, whether or not you make it into a bracelet, or really how you interpret the design. Anna and I have another design we're going to keep for another day, since we're already 38 minutes into it.
Oh, we're not doing the 2-hour marathon
We're
thing?
not going to do the 2-hour marathon. We're going to come back and do that as well. We have so many ideas with the box, and really one thing that you should do is post in the Facebook group for the best bead box. Show your design, show what you've made, show your ideas, and make requests. So just like we said here, you know, click that little link there, make sure to subscribe. Tell us what your favorite, one thing that I always want to know from each of the boxes, I love the posts that people make when you ask, like, what's the favorite thing? There's Anna's little, that is a really pretty little necklace.
Yeah.
The check flowers. Add some chain
really
to the
nice.
end. But I love in the Facebook group when you post, like, what was your favorite thing from the box? And people say their favorite thing and their least favorite thing, and the next person, they reverse it and they say their favorite and their least favorite.
Yeah. There's the snake class was a hot topic.
One or the other. But it's really fun to see people's different interpretations of what to do with the box, and the different things that they come up with, the different things that they play with, and also hopefully get inspired and have a lot of ideas flowing through their head that, oh yeah, I got these materials in the box, or I don't have the box, I don't get the box, maybe I want to, but I also have all of these materials. So even if you're not an actual box subscriber, you may want to join that Facebook group while you're thinking it out, while you're having fun and kind of deciding what do people do with these things, and what's in the box. So
Yeah, I'm always
I know I'm
impressed
going to
with
steal the earrings.
I'm always impressed with the designs that people come up with.
They're quite amazing.
Yeah, there's some on there that if you haven't seen, I need to show them to you because they're quite amazing.
So as everyone, hello everyone so hello to all of you joining in. This was really fun, Anna. I'm really, really excited that You also said, I'll do the beading. And I said, I have had a number of people, Anna, say in the comments that you're a really good teacher. So this is Anna's motivation to get in the recording studio more often. I slowly try to bait her. I have Skittles. I'm going to start baiting you with Skittles or gin and tonics. Come on in and design more.
Little gin and tonics.
Lined
up down the hallway.
To make it easier and easier for people to flow.
I'll walk down the hall. What's this line twist doing here?
Somebody also said that it's been great. Thank you for sharing. Love the bead box and the grab bags. The box is so inspirational. This box month was awesome. So kudos to Anna because, yeah, it really was awesome. As they continue, like every day, somebody around the office is wearing something else that was made with the box. Anna had these on last week. I have them on this week. Mandy comes in and steals all of the box examples.
Make this into a little pendant or something.
Yeah, and if you do want to make it into a pendant, a little idea is you just take the back of the earring there, bend it up. I'll show the round, and Anna's going to show how to do it.
Yeah.
So a little bit further.
Hopefully, I haven't tried this, so hopefully
it doesn't snap. Usually that last little
snap, and it doesn't.
That last little piece sometimes will snap off, but you can also link on.
Be careful.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, but that's actually not bad. Like I got that to turn.
Yeah.
I was careful with it.
So now you have your pendant.
You could just
pendant
that's
it
cute.
away. Very cute. So you can do the pendant. So now I have a pendant to go with my earrings. So I have one more design idea that I have right there. I have my pendant, my earrings. I'm ready to go. For all of you that joined us on this Facebook Live, thank you so much. Kudos to Anna, another fun box and another fun box design. And then keep in mind, if you do want to see us regularly, not only are we here on YouTube, and we have videos, usually 5 or so a week coming out, we're also on Facebook Live on Tuesdays at 1, as well as Twitch on Tuesdays, generally at 2 o'clock, unless we are doing a YouTube Live here, as well as on Thursdays at 1. So, as always, thank you so much for joining in. If you do need any materials, check out the links below the video in that little show more. You can get your packet. We'll have links there also if you do want to
get the little packet.
Subscribe to the Bead Box or the Bead Box XL to have all of these fun materials and to get a lot of inspiration as well. So thanks everybody for spending some time with us this afternoon, and until next time, happy beading.
See ya.
See ya.